I just yawned because right now it is 5 to 5 a.m. It's an early start. And I want you to join me on my journey back from Seville all the way to my town in the UK. First, it's time to get an Uber to the airport. As you can see, I've just arrived at the airport. The taxi driver, the Uber driver, dropped me off at the airport. First, I need to pass the security check. All good. I've just passed the security check. Next stop, Manchester. As it says here, see you soon. But I've still got an hour and a half left, so I need to kill some time. I'm going to get a bottle of water from the vending machine. Look, it's like magic. Pretty high-tech stuff. Wow. Thanks to Brexit, I have to go through the passport control, which is really annoying. A coffee was definitely needed. I think it'll be the first of many today. So cheers. Here are my AirPods. So it's time to listen to a podcast. All right, time to get on the plane. Okay, as you can see, I've now arrived in Manchester. So the flight was okay, it was a little bit bumpy and I couldn't fall asleep. But I didn't manage to record a lot of videos because, well, the flight was absolutely packed. But yeah, the takeoff, the moment when the plane leaves the ground, was nice and smooth and calm. But then, unfortunately, there was a moment where it was a bit bumpy. There was a lot of turbulence. So, as a result, I couldn't fall asleep because I'm a little bit afraid of flying. And look, it's a beautiful sunny day here in Manchester. But it seems like overnight it was raining a little bit because in front of me you have a bench and it's a little bit wet. Sometimes my parents pick me up from Manchester and they take me back to my town. But, you know, today I had already blocked my entire calendar and my mum and dad are quite busy. So I thought, well, why not make my way home and record a little bit of a vlog at the same time? So that's what I'm doing. As a result, my next stop is to walk to the train station and then get the train from the airport through Manchester all the way to Bradford. Be careful. Remember to look left and look right. Better safe than sorry. In front of me, you have a bin and it says litter. Litter is a synonym for rubbish. Finally, I get to stretch my legs walking to the train station. Oh, and I travel light, so I only take my backpack with me. You see, I'm not a fan of big suitcases. Now I've just sat down to upload my video of the day, and then I'll head onto the platform. But I'm a bit peckish, a little bit hungry, so maybe I'll grab a bite to eat. There you can see, I've now made it to the train station. So I set off, I left Seville just before 5, and now here in Manchester it's 9:10. There is obviously 1 hour time difference. I got myself a flat white coffee and a typical English snack, a sausage roll. It's not very healthy, I know, but it's tasty. Delicious, scrumptious, it's so yummy. And this sausage roll should put me on for a few hours, meaning it should prevent me from being hungry for a few hours. I am sipping on my coffee. Now the train pulling out of the station. This means it's leaving the station. The opposite is the train is pulling into the station, meaning it's arriving at the station. And I'm sure you've seen this phrase before. Mind the gap. It means be careful of the gap. Alright, now I've just got off my first train to one of the stations in Manchester. You see, Manchester is becoming quite a big city and it has lots of development. Lots of skyscrapers are being built. So it's getting pretty important and pretty cool. And that's coming from someone who is a Leeds fan. And people who support Leeds are rivals with people from Manchester, Mancunians. So it's difficult for me to admit that Manchester is kind of having a moment at the moment. So yeah, if you haven't visited Manchester or you haven't been in a long time, I recommend visiting. Anyway, the next train I'm going to get on goes through the countryside. So the views are quite nice and scenic, and then it will take me to Bradford, where I'm going to record a few videos to show you the city centre. And so far so good, by the way. My flight was on time, my trains have been on time, nothing has been delayed. Hooray! Right now I'm at Manchester, Victoria. Not long now, and in case you're wondering, I'm taking the train to Bradford instead of Leeds just because it's cheaper and a little bit closer to home. Even though I tell people that I'm from Leeds, and I support Leeds. Alright, finally, after many hours, welcome to Bradford. There we have a nice old building called St. George's Hall, and we can keep walking towards the main square. It's a bit nippy, it's a bit chilly, quite cold. You see, Bradford doesn't have a great reputation. It's not a place that many people go to live or to visit. But last year, it was voted the capital of culture in the UK. And during the Industrial Revolution, it was a really important city because it has lots of factories and mills. As a result, there are still lots of old, beautiful buildings. These here are bollards. Here we have some water fountains, and this square is called Centenary Square. There you can see an old phone box, and it's a black one, a new one. In front of me, you can see the town hall, which is a beautiful old building. And you see, I wasn't lying. Bradford 2025, City of Culture. Now I'm going to keep walking across town to get to the other train station. As I said, here in the city centre, there are some lovely old buildings. There we have a nice old bookshop called Waterstones, and some lovely flowers, and the sun's come out as well. That's another view of the town hall. Well, that's confirmation that Bradford is still quite rough. I've just seen a guy getting arrested. Ugh. So yeah, Bradford is definitely not the best place to visit if you're coming to the UK. Fortunately, I'm from a smaller town, which is much nicer. So that's probably enough of Bradford for today, and I think it's time to head back to Bingley. Home, sweet home. Finally, I've made it. I'm back home in Bingley. And look, a swan is here to greet me. So I left Seville at about 5 o'clock in the morning, so 4 o'clock UK time. I got picked up by an Uber, taken to the airport. Then I had my flight of 2.5 hours. After that, I've had to get on 3 different trains to make it to my hometown, Bingley. It's where I call home at the end of the day. And I'm running out of battery. I think I've only got 2% left, so that'll do for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to join my classes, I'll leave a link in the description, and I'm going to walk up the hill, and in 10 minutes, I'll be sat on my sofa. Phew. Oh, and after a month in sunny Spain, dry sunny Spain, it's quite nice to have these dark clouds and lots of greenery around me. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!